Hi, Luminaires. How is everybody out there in Facebook world and YouTube world? I hope you're doing wonderful. It is Friday, and I'm so happy to be here with you. And I've decided I'm showing up today because I want to introduce you to someone that I truly admire. Her name is Mary Locke. She's a nurse practitioner, certified, and she does health coaching. She's a Reiki Master. She offers an eclectic array of healing, like healing vibes. She holds the intention of powering others along in their healing journey. And I can attest that this is exactly what she does. And this is why I like to highlight certain people. Now, she doesn't know I'm about to do this, but she's sitting over here and I'm going to pull her up in a second. You guys get to meet her and talk to her. But I wanted her to do this with me because I wanted the Luminaires to see that there are options to your healthcare. I'll just put it that way. Maybe she'll correct me in a little bit, but Mary has a unique look in how she wants to show up for people and spend time with them and really help them understand, educate them of what's happening internally, like with their blood health or nutrition, and she can talk more about it. But we don't get that many opportunities. And as sensitive people, I find this to be extremely delicious and yummy and wonderful. And it's something that I would like to apply to my life. And I have looked for it. So here is someone, if you are wanting to know more about how to care for yourself and your traditional outlets aren't working for you, and if you're listening to Mary and you're like, God, this is something I want, pay attention, reach out to her. And she's done something really incredible without asking. She's offering, if you decide to use her health counseling services, to offer up to $250 off. And in my personal opinion, she's not charging a lot in comparison to what other people out there are doing, like the national average. So I'm really tickled that she's here with us. So now that I've talked about her so much, I'll say hi to everybody that's out there. Hi, Shelly, Vlad, it's so good to see you. Sheldon. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. Regina, she says, what's up, Loomies? Hey, Kristen. I'm so happy to see you. Okay, you ready to hear how this works? Because I am. Meet the Mary Locke. Here she is, guys.
Hello. Thank you, Jamie. That's so sweet of you to say all those wonderful things about me. I appreciate that.
Hey, it's true. It's true. And I'm wondering, when you're in this line of work and you're so passionate about it, you're just doing what you want to do you even recognize how unique you are? Because I mean, you're in your own position. I'm just curious.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can see how I don't necessarily fit in that traditional model. So I've kind of discovered that along the way. And that, I do have that unique perspective coming from that traditional Western model, but really being so fascinated and having the love of all of the healing modalities and really using all of them on myself and finding that those are the ones that have really helped me with more of that health and vitality. So I'm really excited to share this with others.
So how did you get into the whole nursing? What inspired you?
Yeah, so, well, my mom is a nurse. So she, I have always known that I wanted to help other people, that I wanted my career to be of that, and that I was always fascinated with the human body. It's one of the few constants that we have in our life is our bodies. And so I've always thought, like, why wouldn't you want to know about how it works? Because there's always something new to learn and there's so much unknown with it. Still, it's amazing. So she had encouraged me going the nursing route, and we were able to work together in labor and delivery for a little while. And that was exciting. That was a nice time period. But I had always known that I wanted to go back to school. I got my master's in family nurse practitioner and worked when I graduated, I worked in a walk-in clinic, minute clinic, and did internal medicine for a little bit. And that's when I was really starting to experience a little bit of burnout myself, because some of the treatment options, it was hard for me to get behind. And I really wanted to provide people with all the information and education, and wanting to tell them that they can, do these other things that are going to have lasting results, and, avoid the side effects of this certain medication. But, ultimately I want to empower people to make those informed decisions for themselves. So, supporting them in whatever they choose.
But isn't it in the classic, at least here in the States, medical world, you have such a short window to see a patient.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. So even if you wanted to provide the education and sit with them and listen and understand, it's like the structure itself wouldn't let you do
It
it.
doesn't set up for it. Yeah, the system is, it's hard to do that. Mm-hmm, exactly.
So I didn't start raging against that machine until it didn't fit me. Like when I was healthy, it was like, you're in and out. The doctor's like, yeah, you're good. Check, leave. All right, mark that off my to-do list. And
Mm-hmm.
then, I'm missing certain proteins and enzymes. I can't digest animal protein. So I get really sick when I have it. I'm lactose intolerant. There's some just strange things that I had my whole life. And finally, I was like, I don't want to deal with this bloat. I don't want to deal with being sick all the time. And a traditional doctor looked at me, run some tests. Oh, you're healthy. Check, leave. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
whoa, but I'm not. I'm not healthy. I'm watching other people and they don't react like I do. So I had to find a physician who would sit with me for an hour and run tests that aren't normal and help me read them, like educate me. And so I was okay with the system until I realized I needed more. So I'm mentioning this because was there something, well, twofold. Was there something in your world, like you mentioned the burnout, I guess, maybe that's where I'm getting, that pulled you out of the structure that maybe you were okay with to begin with? And secondfold, what is it with what you're offering that could help people that are already healthy and they're not looking for, a different structure to fit their needs, but what do you offer to help normalize, like, this is the way we care for people? It's not a systematic thing, it's a personalized thing. That makes sense. It was a long way around for me to get there.
Well, yeah. So a little bit more about how, so as I was going through, let me first understand can you clarify your question one more time? So to make sure that I speak to that.
Well, like, I looked for a new system and a new way of learning about my health
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't feel good. What about those people who feel good, but they, like, what's going to encourage them to come to you? Is it
Yeah.
only for people who feel like crap?
No, I mean, there's always like growth. I mean, we're always growing. And when we can work with somebody else, it really can highlight some of the parts that we don't see about ourselves. So that can be so good to really help that growth process. So, that's why I'm using the bios. It's in the headline. So it's that biopsychosocial spiritual
Talk to me
framework.
more about this. What is that?
So that was introduced in the 1970s by George Engel. And he just had the first part, like the biopsychosocial, and then other people along the way have added that kind of spiritual aspect. But it's a holistic framework, because it's, health is not just, one thing. And our Western model is more of that biomedical field. And with this, it includes the whole picture. And it's all this interplay. So it's interesting to see how things show up and kind of looking at all of those aspects so we can make sure that we are treating the whole person and working on that.
I am smiling. Maybe that is what I was looking for. Because even as a healthy person, I'm still working on getting my mental body straight, acknowledging my physical needs, my emotional needs, my spiritual outlook in life. So mindfulness, compassionate communication, all of these elements for me feed my level of health overall, the whole health, as you were mentioning it. So it's that structure that you offer that is probably getting me so energetically excited.
Yeah. So when we break it down and look at it, like the bio part is the biology, that's that physical health, and the psychology is that mental and emotional. The social part, I like to look at it as that external part of us, the either our relationships with our family, friends, the cultural influences. I also like to add in, like, how are we relating to nature? How are we, giving to the earth and honoring that as well? And also that spiritual aspect, which I like to talk about in terms of like intuition or how spirit is communicating with you, which can be different for everybody.
Can I just say, shut up? Not to you, but just, where did you come from, Mary? Where did you fall from? Like, what happened? And thank God. Like, do you think, like, you're coming across this and finding this very important for people?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that there is a national or global change in the medical healthcare industry where we're moving more towards this personal biopsychosocial
Yeah.
framework?
Well, I think it's becoming very clear and evident, like the parts that are not working within the system. I mean, there's certain benefits of it. I mean, we don't want to throw it all away, but it needs to, it's, not, it's not there and serving the purpose of health and, getting people to that healthy place. It is just focused on more of that chronic, we have a growing pandemic of chronic conditions. And it's really fascinating to me. Like, we're in the age of information, and yet we're in an era where like our health is just deteriorating. It's like we're not doing something's not working. So what do we need to do? So that's what, I'm in allergy, asthma, and immunology right now. So those treatment options I can align with a little bit better. And so that's been a better fit for me, but I still can see how, with that limited time frame, like I'm only scratching the surface with people with what I can do for them. As far as like, I can see the potential of like, if we had this much time, if we could do this a little bit different. So that is, one of the big motivators of creating this, because I can see kind of where the need is. And I really am looking forward to diving deep with people and getting, with those underlying influences, how they all kind of have that interplay with each other and towards guiding them with better health, and really kind of having the relationship be more of an even playing field, not like going to the provider and fix me, I need help. It's like, no, you're more about your body than I do. So let's figure this out together. I can help you have a certain amount of base knowledge and information that we can work with this together. But it really is kind of learning how to listen to your body's intelligence.
Oh my God, Mary, I can't tell you how many times I've seen a doctor or a healthcare provider and I'm telling them what's going on with my body. And they just overlook it, or they tell me, you're fine. Everything, they're looking at the chart, everything is good. You're okay. Just go and it will pass. And it's like they won't even, like you just said, you know your body better than I do, and I'm going to work with you. And it's like my heart just, it's like, should we cry about this now or wait until later? This is so beautiful. To even have that aspect of somebody who can wield the knowledge of giving education and taking, you to a healthy status, full, whole, healthy status, saying to you, you know best, and I'm just going to be here to help you, is incredible. Mm-hmm. So you are here to help. And I know personally, because I've been asking you a million questions beforehand, and I've been getting to know you through the JB mentorship program this year. But I know that you're here to offer a series of a 5 grouping meeting where you can assist somebody to better understand where they are in time and space, biosocial BioPsychoSocial Spiritual Framework.
Yeah.
And you're not acting as your own clinic or anything. You're acting as a health counselor. So indeed, you are the living, like, health Google. You are the spiritual inspiration part of it. You're the book, that we don't know how to navigate because we're not trained in the medical field at all. And so you would spend the time to sit down and talk to us if we're in this health counseling with you. And you're offering an incredible discount. I just want to show it on the screen really fast. So if you are interested and you like the way that Mary is seeing the world about taking care of you, and you're looking for this, so you're not coming at this from a certified nurse practitioner, but a health counselor, but you are so willing to work with people's physicians, doctors. Like, what does that look like when you're working with somebody and you have
Yeah. So, I mean, it's really like a great opportunity because I'll be able to spend so much time with the person, and really, sometimes we may discover things that their doctor has overlooked, or they haven't thought to mention. The person that I'm working with hasn't thought to mention this to their provider. So that way we can make sure that if we're thinking anything is missing, I can collaborate with the provider, or the person that I'm working with can discuss what we've discussed and mentioned it to them to make sure that they have something else looked at, or a medication maybe adjusted, or something of that nature. So yes, I won't be working as their provider, but it's a nice option because I have that background information that I can be such a great support person with their existing care providers.
I'm reading our comments here, and there's some really great questions. Can I post some of them?
Yes.
Is that all right? Here's a share from Kristen Bradley. I think she uses flat out, like, I get blood work from my fur babies and I track those numbers and it makes me feel like I'm a better advocate for them and their health. What if I did it for myself?
Yeah. Oh, Kristen, hi. So that's another thing that I'm working on right now, is providing a class series regarding how to learn about your health through blood work. So we are now it's really convenient to not necessarily have a doctor's order. It is storming over here. I don't know if you heard that thunder.
It's coming this way, actually.
Yeah, it's really loud. So, you can get your own lab work now without a doctor's order, but really having a better understanding on what's happening on that cellular level and how we can learn about our health through that modality. So, and tracking it so it can help you ask better questions for that limited time that you may have with your care provider. And so I'm excited to be offering that sometime in the near future.
Okay, when you offer that, you have to come back on and talk about it again. I will be in that class, hands down. You will find me in it, Luminaires, because this fascinates me. And I've always sat with my sister-in-law, who is, I don't even know how to say it. She's a genius. And I sit down, I'm like, what does this mean? And what does this mean? And she's like, this and that and that. And it's still over my head, but I find it so fascinating. I would love to learn more about it. Is this something that you would also do in your health counseling sessions?
Yeah, so we can certainly go over blood work, and if we think it's indicated and they haven't had this certain type of blood work done, we can see if we can go through a different lab company to have that done, and I can go over those with the person to kind of review that information as well. It's just that objective kind of data that we can look at, so that can be helpful with deciding what's going on, or if they have any vitamin deficiencies or something that we can provide that.
I love you. Also have something that I really enjoy. I'm going to post it.
Yes, Reiki, right? Is that what you're going to say?
No. Oh. Yes.
I love Reiki. Yes.
Reiki.
What were you going to say?
Your full script.
Oh, yes.
I know you're just starting to grow it. This is Mary Locke's Linktree little account, and on there it has full script, but you have to have an account to full script. It doesn't cost anything. There it is again. It doesn't cost anything, but what happens is when you have that and you work with her and she's suggesting, oh, by your blood levels or what's happening, this would be really good, vitamin wise, mineral wise, things of that nature. She posts it up onto your full script account and you just have everything right there. You don't have to like take a list and find it yourself and like do that thing. It's so like full care service. I love it. I personally love it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's all condensed and you kind of can view what I'm recommending, and it's up to you whether or not you want to decide to add that to your cart or not. Yeah.
And there's so many comments. I don't know what to post first. We can go a little global, but yeah, Meow Mix.
Yeah. That's the one I was looking at.
Here's a condensed version.
Right. I know. So it's a business. So, a lot of these, so the internal medicine, that was a family practice. And it was like, you had to have a certain amount of people to keep the system running. And so if you didn't, you would go under. So, you have, it's just crazy the amount of work that you have to do that people really don't see behind the scenes, but there's so many charting points that you have to address. And, so it's a lot. So yeah, you have a limited time frame because of that aspect, because it's a business and they have to, be able to survive. So it's unfortunate. That's why, yeah. So
I feel like it can make a very compassionate, empathic person very cold. Structuring moment by moment, going, and this is also what I want to offer and what I see in you, but our time is up.
Yeah.
And we don't get paid for that. And and so I can't offer that. And so this freedom that you're creating by just taking your bulk life experience and just going, you know what? It's health counseling.
Right. Yes.
Coach, I'm going to teach, I'm going to educate, I'm going to hold your hand as you're working through just being healthy or working through something larger. Here's a question that I didn't think of. Meow Mix says that's sad. We need better than that. Yeah, we need more Mary Locks in the world. I think they're going to pop up.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm seeing more of that for sure.
What is the age group that you work with? Do you work with kids as well?
As a nurse practitioner, I do, but as within this setting, we'll do 18 and up.
And is there anything that's off limits? Because I know there's so many yeses in your world, I can feel it. But is there something where you're like, if somebody comes to me and it's about this, I'm going to refer that they go elsewhere? Or is it no? With whatever you have, the education that you can provide can really help a person navigate those choices that they're making with their physician.
Right. Yeah, I can't, nothing at the top that comes to me off the top of my head would necessarily be a no that I can think of at the moment. I'm sure there will be some situations where I can see that we, may not be a good fit and I would refer elsewhere. But I not sure what that would be.
I'm just reading Tom's.
And you're kind of fuzzy too.
Am I? Oh no.
Yeah. Maybe it's just, I don't know.
Weather over you?
For profit, not for cures is the problem.
Not sad.
Yeah, well, it's the system too. It's the time constraints, because you're there to kind of investigate what the underlying or what the diagnosis is. So you do a bunch of lab work, and then a lot of people do just want the medicine. They just want the pill. So that's what I found frustrating too, is that a lot of people weren't wanting the information that I felt like they needed. So that was like, I definitely had learned, along the path to choose my battles, and that everyone's on their own journey. and that's not necessarily wrong if you just want to go to your provider and have a pill. That's okay. That's not for me to decide. And so that kind of freed up some energy for me, learning like who is my audience and where is this information going to benefit them. I mean, from some topics, it was like a non-negotiable, like my job is to inform you and I'm going to let you lay out the risks and then you can decide. And so for some things, I would make sure that I provided like a certain level of education, but really trying to, give that patient-centered approach.
So what does it look like when somebody comes to you?
Like so when we were working one-on-one?
Yeah. So I know you have a 15-minute free like
consult kind of.
Yes. Where somebody can talk to you for 15 minutes and the two of you can decide, are we a fit for each other?
Yeah. So if they want to know if they want to go forward with what I'm offering, and I would recommend doing, the 5 sessions so we can really kind of go in and try and make those shifts. Some of, change is hard and it doesn't happen overnight. It's an ongoing process. I love the spiral analogy because, we're always, it's like we think we can get in these spaces where everything feels, oh, I'm healed, it's great. And then we like go back around and experience this. It's like, oh, not again. And so it's it can feel frustrating, but you're at a new level. You have these new tools. You have this grander awareness to be able to be like, okay, I know this is gonna pass because it did before, and it's gonna come back around. So yeah, I think I fell off track with your question.
No, that's totally great. So yeah, you get a 15-minute free
consult, and then with the initial, we'll have some like intake forms, and then when we're working with our initial consult will be a lot of like me getting information from you, like background information, and then kind of deciding from there kind of where we want to move to. So we can work on lifestyle modifications, behavioral modifications, mindset shifts, which has been so helpful for me, like certain reframing and mindset stuff has been so helpful. And I mean, so many other things. I know I'm leaving something out, but the mindfulness. And then also I do offer Reiki. So I think that is such a nice adjunct to be able to add that on, because that really can get to some of that, can free up some of that energy that we were holding on to unconsciously. And so working, and closely on that one-on-one, when we're focusing on some changes that we're wanting to make, and then integrating that energy where it can really be a nice combination to really help kind of shift things. And you can, it's been amazing for me along my journey. So I really love it. I'm glad that I can offer it at this point as well.
And then you have it set up where you request that people stay with you for 5 sessions. Mm-hmm. And are 5 sessions, is it like a once a week thing? Is it every other week?
Yeah, so it's really, we can do once a week, every other week. I mean, if someone needs to spread it out longer, that's okay too. But of course, you're going to get a lot of times when you do more of that consistent, it's able to kind of solidify, keep you accountable, and kind of really, it just depends on where the person is and how they want to work. Some people like those slow and steady kind of changes. So they like to kind of, have that one-on-one and then give it some time and see how they do. And then maybe a month later, add it again. But for some people, it's like, yeah, this isn't working what I'm doing, and I want some changes to happen. And so that can be helpful to have more of that consistent, more frequent visits.
So I'm going to remind Luminaires that if you're interested in this and you've been looking for somebody to walk you through health in this way, comprehensive, use the coupon HEALTH, because you'll get $50 off each session up to 5, which can be $250 off the session, which is incredible because she's not charging much for, that's just my opinion. It's very true. It's my opinion only. It is of great value to every minute that you spend with Mary. Neomix is coming back and asking, what's your vision for the future of our healthcare?
Yeah, so my vision is, well, I have like a big long-term vision. It's really like, I think a big answer is reconnecting to nature and the natural rhythms of our bodies, being able to honor our bodies and being able to listen to it, and getting back to connecting with our food, where it comes from, growing it, how to honor the earth, and honor our community. So I think, a big part of it is with our modern society, we have become so kind of disconnected from our roots and what has been so helpful for us in the past.
Amen.
With, just certainly our ancestors had, were better with, they had to connect with their food. They had the farm. So now we go to the store, do fast food, everything's on the go. Our society is more of that, glorifying the busyness. So, yeah.
Oh my God, that is so true. Glorifying the busyness and not connecting. So there's a lot of grounding that happens in your work. There has to be, right?
Yes.
And making sure I wanted to talk about everything I wanted to talk about. Oh, I wanted to hear more on what's it like. I don't know if it's relevant, but I want to hear it. What's it like to call other people's doctors and care providers and say, hey, I'm working with your patient. This is who I am. I would like to schedule time to talk. Are they always as open? I don't imagine they are. This is why I'm asking.
Maybe.
All about good, clear communication. So it's exciting that you're like, no, I'm going to reach out. I'm going to talk.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I had a doctor do that the other day. So sometimes it can be tricky to actually get in touch with the person because they can be busy and working, but so it's possible. So I haven't had too much experience with it. So we'll see. I'm sure it's an individual basis thing, depending on the provider. And certainly if the provider isn't open to it, maybe that's not a good fit for you. So I think that's important. Like, there's lots of different providers out there. And so that would be, if someone isn't willing to have that outside information and collaborate with your other healthcare team, then that would,
there's something else that you could provide is doctor vetting services.
Yeah.
For highly sensitive people, those who are ready to do comprehensive health.
Yes.
Doctor vetting services.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be amazing. JV Saints is asking, how does your service fit with the medical boutiques that have popped up with the Medicare group? Many providers don't accept Medicare any longer, but for an additional fee, they will.
The medical boutiques, what is that?
There are these, from what I understand, and I don't know much about this, so JV Saints, if you can, please respond again. But they're individual groups and clinics that have set up, and they claim to manage everything all under one roof. Is that what you're talking about? And so they do that, but they're like, we're not going to take Medicare. We're not going to do these things. And then for an additional fee, they'll file and do it. And I think these medical boutiques are trying to slowly climb out of the hole, the medical structures that are out there, in my opinion. And so it's kind of this middle ground.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really necessarily look like a medical facility, but they're run like one, but they're a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more soft. So
Oh,
I'll wait for him to text, or her, JV Saints, to text back.
so yeah.
Yarmik says, I feel like our sense of self-worth is connected to the busyness. Doing nothing means we are bad somehow. I'm
Right.
guilty of that.
I know.
It's so demanding and harsh.
And so it's not really rest, right? If you're just feeling bad about it the whole time, it's not productive. Rest is so productive. And so, yeah, I mean, I still kind of go at myself about that. So, I mean, but I have learned, yeah, I love my rest. And it is productive. So, yes, it's that reframing and figuring out how to, get untangled from that kind of web of thoughts and belief systems that we've just been kind of, it's been nailed into us, drilled into us since we've been little. So how do we do that? And it's so amazing, like how forgetful we can become. How, like, we are run off of these automatic autopilot, and it serves us to a certain point, but then we can get so, like, anything outside of that is like way uncomfortable, and we don't want to do anything about it. So but that's how our bodies are set up. We have that, and it serves us to a certain point, but yeah, it's amazing. We need all these reminders all the time, especially when the world that we're living in is giving us, we're being inundated with all of this external information and messages. And so it really does take that conscious awareness and that proactive approach to really make sure that you're healthy. And it's such a, it has its own little rhythm with it too. It's like, it's not linear, that's for sure.
Understanding. I just posted your Instagram for a little inspiration to help people untangle and unwind. JV Saints is writing back because we were talking about the boutique medical. They charge a fairly robust monthly.
Oh, yeah. So I've heard of other models, doing the, I don't necessarily know for the, for as far as the billing goes, but yeah, the monthly charges. And I think you have mentioned that to me before too. I like that idea of having those monthly charges. I think technology is really going to be a big part of taking over some of it as well. With having these new medical systems in place, I think that's going to be part of it. But who knows? I mean, we'll see. But I think nature is a way, and kind of getting back to our roots, and like, that's what I think is more of. That's how I envision the healthcare, is kind of getting back to that while still utilizing some of our modern tech stuff. Not just totally going backwards, but integrating both of those together. So
JB Saints wants to know, how does your service fit with the medical boutiques that have popped up?
How does it fit with it?
Yeah, because you're doing the health counseling. So I guess the question is, do those blend together, or how does it work?
Sure. I mean, this is such an individualized one-on-one where we continue close follow-up, or based on if you want it further follow-up, like more extended. So it can be a help to have that one-on-one who we can really deep dive on things. And I'm not sure what options they would set up. I think some of them too are having more holistic options where they like have the massage or the acupuncture. I like that idea of having all of like the different modalities in one place. So you have like one person kind of like, maybe we should do this for you today. So, and you pay a monthly fee. I like that idea. I'm not sure if that's what the boutique is, but
kind of similar to it. Sometimes, I don't know why we're getting into this, I'm not an expert, but sometimes you're paying a monthly fee, whether you're using the doctor services or not. But it's definitely an all private pay to make sure that you have your doctor, and that doctor only services X amount of people in that system or
Yeah.
in their book of clients, patients. Um, because JV Saints is also saying, some people can afford it and some people cannot. So I would say, just from observing how my friends have done some of these private doctors, it's quite expensive. Mary is not expensive, and Mary is affordably priced for what she's offering and what she can do with you. And what's great is your takeaway, in my opinion, would be more from Mary, as it's a one-on-one, and you're not in a system like in a boutique place where you're going to see this person for that and this person for that, just a little bit mixed. So that would be my hard and fast opinion. It would be great. If you're sitting here listening and you're questioning or you're liking, then I would say reach out for the 15-minute phone call with Mary to see if it works. Learn more. Ping her on her Instagram account or through her website. Just say, want to know more.
Mm-hmm.
JV's like, sometimes it's a lump sum for the boutique medical and it can be very expensive. It really can. Like purchasing a house expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe not that much. I mean, a luxury car expensive. Oh my goodness. So when I chat with somebody that I just really enjoy, I like to ask them if there is like a golden nugget, just something that they have used in their life or rely on. It could be a system, a routine, a concept, an idea that inspires them. And if so, if you have one, could you share it with us?
Yeah. So recently I've been using the reminder of mindfulness in the mundane. So whether like when we're in that default mode network and we're not really present with what we're doing, we're in the car and we somehow made it to work, but we don't really have a memory of it. Like in those moments, how do we bring more of that mindfulness? So either like when you're taking a shower, like really feeling the water come down and the sensations, or envisioning it just like washing away all those worries and that stress. And for me, just like having the reminder of to relax. Like I notice like so much, I'm just like in this tension state. And so when I'm able to like just relax my body, I feel more grounded and open. And it's such a nice reminder for me.
I was just typing it. The reminder to relax. Yes. Thank you so much from this. The mindfulness in the mundane. It sounds like a great play. Thank you so much, Mary, for being here with us and just chatting about who you are and what you believe in, and sharing how you can help us get more connected to our health. Like, I am down for it. And when you do that blood work class or series, I don't know what it is, what you got boiling, you please let us know so we can talk about it again. And I'm definitely going to be there for that. This is incredible. Luminaires, we have a great resource right here. And in my opinion, in alignment with how we enjoy looking at our lives, our outlook. So thank you, Mary.
Yes, thank you so much for this opportunity, Jamie, and all that you do. Thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Luminaires, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your Friday and your weekend. If you're in the United States, happy 4th of July, Independence Day. Take care. And remember, this is not woo-woo. It's true.